What is it? Yes, we can take you to the edge of the desert. Then we will continue to track the beast. You must find a way to contain it. When we find out where it is being taken, we will seek you out. Until then, may the winds ever be calm on your paths.
The beast has grown too powerful. We can no longer contain it through mortal means. There was once an empire that embraced corruption. They studied it, mastered it, and became the greatest civilization the world has ever known. But it led to their destruction. Our allies will continue the pursuit of the beast, but we shall undertake a different search. We must go to the ruins of the Val Empire, in search of a weapon against the coming cataclysm. Exile is close. Be careful. The Val heavily relied on the use of corruption. Their lands may still be dangerous.
I will tell your tale, Jingak. Return someday, and you might hear Risu tell it in my place. I will tell you. Do not wander.
Quickly.
We strayed from the route marked on our map, driven further afield by painted men with savage intent. Tonight, for reasons I cannot fathom, we have been granted a brief reprieve. Our hunters halted at the edge of this marsh, unwilling to pursue. They watched from the trees as we threaded the narrow band of solid ground between desert and swamp. I know not what they fear, but we must brave the unknown if we are to reach the encampment at the ziggurat. Through my spyglass, I see nothing ahead. The waters lie still, and the muddy banks between seem clear. Yet my nerves burn with the unmistakable sense of being watched. There is no one, no thing, but this silence feels alive. We have no choice but to run for it.
This humidity. Spirit, how I miss the cool breath of the mountains. Bring it on! Take this! through the art.
of you.
What? Young one. Do not wander. What?
not say no to that. Double a day.
Hello? I will tell your tale.
How can...
What? Here for us.
I'm bent double as is.
Hello! Young one. I will tell your tale.
They make for a curious couple.
What kind of stunt was that, traversing the marsh? Have to be smarter if you're to survive. As quartermaster, I'll do my best to keep you alive. I can buy what equipment you find, or sell you what others have unearthed before we ship it back to Kingsmarch. If you disappear in the jungle, I'll also be the one to note your death in our logs. You're welcome.
Pragmatism's all well and good, but that was something else.
Hello there. I'm Elva Valai. Sorry about Oswald. He can be a bit, rough with the newcomers. But he's really not a bad sort. In any case, we can always use another pair of hands around here. Welcome. This little excursion here represents my lifelong ambition. It's not just about finding treasure. I want to build an entire archaeological society someday. Rayclast has countless layers of history buried beneath it, and I aim to uncover every last bit. I intend to call my group the Reliquarians. A bit ostentatious, but the best things should be. A shame I couldn't have founded it a few decades ago, back when my birthplace Oriath was still a thriving city. Thanks to the Templars, relics from a dozen different cultures found their way to that little island over the centuries, and are now all lost, thanks to the disasters that happened there. So you're looking for a device the Varl intended to use against the Cataclysm? Ah, so that's why you came here. Well, you're on the right trail. The ziggurat on which we stand was rumored to contain a device to save their people. If you want to explore it, you'll have to find a way to drain the city first. It's hard to guess what the device inside the temple might be. I do know that it was commissioned by Queen Etziri's thaumaturge, Doriani himself. The project was given all the resources it needed, and the work was kept secret, even from Etziri. As best I could translate, they claimed using it might mean abandoning all they had built. They seemed to view it as a last resort, a way to save their legacy if all else failed. It's not often I detect fear in Varl writings, but they definitely hoped they would never have to use it. By their final days, the Varl were a deeply tiered empire based on brutal competition. Those at the top vied with each other through any means necessary, and Doriani was the foremost among these ambitious and immoral men. He was second only to Queen Etziri herself. Exile was the seat of his power, and ancient writings claim he undertook a vast array of strange projects and sordid experiments here. Some glyphs I have seen are too stomach-churning to discuss. How do I even begin to describe the last queen of the Varl? She left a tremendous mark on history. She was intelligent and capable enough to rule unquestioned over a bloodthirsty empire of volatile nobles, and the people adored her and feared her in equal measure. Varl writings speak of her as the most beautiful woman in the era, but also the most dangerous. She sought eternal life, and she was willing to sacrifice anything to achieve it. The ruins around you are the result of those ambitions. Sometimes, while I'm looting a temple, I remember that everything we find once belonged to a living, breathing person that probably died horribly. That sort of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? I've heard of the beast. Everyone has. If someone is truly trying to raise another, then they must be the grandest of fools. These very ruins around us are the result of an attempt to control such a thing. This is the only way it can end. Oswald's a grim sort, isn't he? He's always injury this, death that. Personally, I've never been hurt while treasure hunting. I actually find it rather easy. He always makes sure we have the proper supplies and checks his list for everything 4 or 5 times before we make a move. He also invented what I call the Oswald technique. On the rare occasions he personally goes out with us, he throws a rock at absolutely everything before touching it. Every flagstone, every pillar, every statue. You'd be positively amazed at the elaborate traps he sets off, even in places I've walked through already. That hooded fellow over there, he's a friend of yours, I take it? Seems to be one of few words. Oh well, I'm not one to judge the company you choose to keep. Oswald's gonna lose his wits if any more of you show up, though. Something tells me you're the exploring type. We've got that in common. But some places even I steer clear of. I rather enjoy being alive, you see. Still, if you're feeling adventurous, there's fortunes to be made out there in the wilds. I'm especially interested in all things related to the Vaal. For academic reasons, of course. But a bit of treasure never goes amiss. Until next time.
She's friendly like. A rare quality these days.
Somewhere in this region there were sophisticated canals and waterways. We might be able to use them to drain this lake. We must hope that the mechanisms are still functioning, despite their age. It is the only way to reverse the drowning of this once thriving city. The first step in our search for the secret knowledge of the Vaal. Go.
You're the one who waded to the undead in the marsh, eh? Truly you need a guide. Luck's on your side today, friend. I am such a guide. Maybe I can help you survive. Not all tribes in this region are so friendly. You would be wise to listen to me on the dangers of the jungle. Yes, you are lucky indeed.
She's sharp, that one. Could come in useful.
Yes? I'll take it. Be wary.